No contact is by far the most effective method when it comes to dealing with narcissistic people, because the best way to deal with those who refuse to see other people's points of view, who always believe that they are right, who make everyone else feel responsible for everything that they do wrong, who feel entitled to exploit you and lack the empathy to care about you, the best protection you have is to no longer be around them, to no longer give them your time and your attention. When it comes to narcissistic individuals, they're looking to emotionally manipulate you in order to get their needs met by you, and they will use the things you care about the most to gain the reaction that they so desperately crave from you. So if you cannot go no contact, it needs to be limited contact and grey rock, giving them no more emotional reaction, creating those boundaries which are psychological, emotional and physical distance, because traditional boundaries do not work with narcissistic people. They are not interested in honest and open communication. They're interested in exploitation. So when it comes to no contact, it's about creating that distance, and it involves cutting off all forms of communication, physical and digital, avoiding all interactions with a narcissistic individual. It means blocking them on your emails, on your social media, on your mobile phone. It means going places where they might be is now off limits. You now avoid those places. It can also mean cutting off their friends and family, which you can think, well, why should I have to cut off their friends and family? I really get on with their brother. I really get on with their sister. It's their brother. It's their sister. It's their parents. You need to cut them off so that they can no longer feed any information about you to the narcissistic person, intentionally or not, just because they're related to them. You need to cut everybody off that's going to be around the narcissistic individual. No contact is they are simply a person who exists in the world that you don't know. You've not met, you don't come across them. They are your past. And when they are damaging in your present, you don't need them in your future. When it comes to narcissistic individuals, they thrive on attention and validation and manipulation. And by implementing no contact, you disrupt the narcissist's ability to manipulate you, to gain that attention from you. In essence, you are cutting off their supply. You are depriving the narcissist of their validation and their admiration that they are so desperately seeking from you. You are cutting off their influence that they have over you. You are cutting off the influence that they have to cause you that psychological and emotional and sometimes physical harm, so that you can best protect yourself, so that you can live your life to your fullest. Because when you are around a narcissistic individual, they are going to make you suffer. Usually because they're suffering. You can't do you can't help them. They're not interested. They believe that you're the cause of their suffering. And they believe that it's okay to punish you because of that. They don't care about anyone other than themselves and getting their own needs met. When you care about them, it's very difficult to cut yourself off from them. However, recognizing their patterns of behavior, the only time they act nice is when they're offering that intermittent reinforcement, when they're breadcrumbing you, when they're seeking to get their needs met by you. Every action with a narcissistic individual is a transaction. They don't do out of the goodness of their own heart. They do to exploit you, to later down the line use it against you. They will give you something, and then 3 months later, when they don't get their own way, they demand its return. They are some of the most self-entitled, pettiest people you could ever meet. However, when you are around them, you're going to be made to feel like you're the most self-entitled, pettiest person that you could ever be. They are going to go all out to bring the worst out in you while you are trying your hardest, banging your head against a brick wall, trying to bring the best out in them. There is enough suffering in the world without being around those who seem to enjoy making you suffer and watching you struggle. You need to be around supportive people. When you diminish the narcissist's ability to have any form of influence over you, they don't take too kindly to this because they feel entitled to just have you whenever they want you. So when you go no contact with a narcissistic individual, it's far from an easy ride. It's not just a case of cutting them off, jobs are good and on we move to our future. A narcissistic individual will often create new email addresses to get at you because they believe they're entitled to do that. They'll get new phones to ring you or get new SIM cards to ring you. You might have to change your phone number completely, which can seem like hassle and chaos at the time, but that temporary pain gets you long-term gain because they can no longer get to you. If you can't go no contact, you need to grab a hold of your emotions and you need to take your emotions out of every single conversation with an emotional manipulator because they will use them against you to exploit you. Going no contact with a narcissist is like cleaning out your closet. At first, it gets messy and it can get very messy and you can wish you never started. Yet once you sift through it all and put things back, it's a lot cleaner. You feel a lot freer. When you go no contact with a narcissist, they can try and get a third party to get at you and claim how horrible you are. They can start those smear campaigns against you. They can start stalking you and harassing you, in which case you need to get the law enforcement involved. Yes, there are plenty that aren't particularly great. However, they need to build up a picture of what this person is actually like. You need to keep yourself safe. They might be taking you to court over random things. They do all sorts of things to try and seek revenge on you because they genuinely believe that you are the one that hurt them, that you are the one that betrayed them. And victims can act in similar ways. The difference is where the person is coming from. Victims usually care and want that future that they planned together and want to know what on earth has just happened in their life. Narcissistic people want control. No contact provides you with the time and the space, no longer under the narcissist's influence, the narcissist's manipulation, in order to be able to think for yourself, to heal, to self-reflect, to recover, to do the things that you enjoy. And we can have our own imposter syndrome. We can believe that we're incapable of doing things, that we shouldn't be able to do things. We can have enough of that within our own mindset, let alone from other people. We do not need that programming in our head that we are incapable of doing something by those who claim to care about us. Because more often than not, when you care about somebody, you try to support them. Yes, you might offer them constructive feedback in order to help them. I just think if you try doing it like this, it might help. Oh, sorry, didn't work. Well, what else can we do? Let's keep going. Whereas a narcissistic individual will pretend to help. Oh, perhaps you do it like this. Oh, did it not work? Yeah, I don't think that's for you. They are looking to bring you crashing down. And when we can have enough self-doubt within ourselves without other people planting that self-doubt within us, life is hard enough to do the things that we want to do that may feel scary. We might not feel like we have the skills to do something, which is why we learn. When we're born, we don't have the skills to walk or talk. We learn and we mess up along the way. It's not an easy journey. With a narcissistic person, as soon as you get up, they want to push you straight back down because they're envious of you. Therefore, no contact means that you can explore who you are as a person freely without threat of them taking away everything about who you are as a person so that they can feel better about who they are as a person. No contact is the best method to deal with narcissistic people. You make the decision. In the middle, it can get a little messy, especially when you're cutting off a narcissistic type who just feels entitled to have you whenever they want you. However, you need to focus on that long-term goal of the vision of the future that you desire, and then you need to go all out to work on that in the present, to create it for your future without toxic people tearing you down at every given opportunity, because they're usually too busy tearing everybody else down because they can't be bothered to build themselves up. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support of the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have a couple of books out on Amazon, 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People if you cannot go no contact, and a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you'd like to go and check those out, they'll be in the description also. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.